I'm Joe Landy. Welcome to Songs of Freedom, and this is a harmonica. Maybe you've had the experience playing sometime in your life. You know, you really don't become a harmonica player until you play the individual notes. I want to talk to you a little bit about my experience with this instrument. I had knee surgery, major knee surgery, back in 1987, sports injury, and I was on my back for weeks. And there I am, laying there. I remember the day that I could use a walker to go to the top of the stairs on my own. That was a big day, and I was, you know, here I'm a grown man living in my parents' house because I lived in a 4th-floor walk-up and I couldn't do it. So that was a major achievement for me. And so was an introduction to this instrument. And then when I got better and was on my feet again, I didn't play it anymore. I just didn't. Until about a month ago. And that's when I went to a Pinewoods Folk Music Club weekend. Now imagine being a grown person. You can go to a summer camp for a week and just play music. Or during the fall and the spring, you can go for a weekend, go to workshops, meet people, make music, have fun. That's what I did. So I took a harmonica workshop in the morning, and I couldn't even play individual notes and stuff. And so I'm sort of getting there. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about Pinewoods later on and introduce our guests who were elemental in me being there, Toby Fagenson and Jane Babits. But first I want you to watch this.
The president in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land. But how can you buy or sell the sky, the land? The idea is strange to us. Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, all are holy in the memory and experience of my people. We're part of the earth and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The bear, the deer, the great eagle, these are our brothers. Each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lakes tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. The rivers are our brothers. They carry our canoes and feed our children. If we sell you our land, remember that the air is precious to us, that the air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also receives his last sigh. This we know, the earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life, he is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. Your destiny is a mystery to us. What will happen when the buffalo are all slaughtered? What will happen when the secret corners of the forest are heavy with the scent of many men, and the view of the ripe hills is blotted by talking wires? The end of living and the beginning of survival. When the last red man has vanished with his wilderness and his memory is only the shadow of a cloud moving across the prairie, will these shores and forests still be here? Will there be any spirit of my people left? We love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. So if we sell you our land, love it as we've loved it. Care for it as we've cared for it. Hold in your mind the memory of the land as it is when you receive it. Preserve the land for all children and love it as God loves us all. One thing we know, there's only one God. No man, be he red man or white man, can be apart. We are brothers after all.
You're watching Songs of Freedom. My name is Joel Landy, and what you just saw were the words of Chief Seattle as read by Joseph Campbell from that PBS series that Campbell did with Bill Moyers, back in 1987. I think PBS recently ran it, and I took the liberty of taping it, and I was watching it today while I was eating lunch. For me, that was the soul food. I like the spirit there very much. And you know, I also like the spirit of music, and I like the spirit of laughter, and I want to introduce you to one of the most fun people I know who also is a great musician. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Toby Fagenson. How you doing, Toby?
I'm doing fine, Joel. So
Okay,
glad to be here with
the
you.
last
Let me
time-
flat pick so I can shake your hand.
The last time I saw you was at the Pinewoods weekend.
That's right, up in
And
Connecticut.
I really was looking forward to. Maybe Toby will be there. We'll stay up all night and make music, and he can play all his parodies, and I'll play some of mine, and we'll laugh a lot. And that's exactly what we did.
Among other things, but boy, it was great music.
Yeah. So, like, what I'd like to do is, I made Toby. Oh, one of the things I got to tell you, I took myself to the Museum of Modern Art on Saturday. It's 10 blocks from where I live in Queens, right? Because it moved to Queens, and there I am looking at Picasso, and I'm thinking, oh, Toby's going to be on the show this week. I'm going to ask him to sing that song about Picasso, amongst other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a treat. I want to introduce you to a friend, a musician, a kindred spirit, Mr. Toby Fagenson.
Thank you, Joel, very much. Great. Well, Joel told me there were sort of anti-war songs tonight. Well, this is not entirely anti-war, although the subject of the song made a very powerful anti-war statement in the 1930s during the Spanish Civil War. I'll refer to that in the song. And it's a parody, so words sound like original words from other songs. I had this great revelation one day that this visual artist's name sounded very similar to a great Midwestern American city. So I came up with this. Picasso, Picasso, he really could draw. Picasso, Picasso, wow, the world that he saw. I love it, painting people's eyes where the nose should be. That's Picasso. Picasso, his Guernica told Franco just where to go. And he lived to his 90s through good times and stress. His love life was one hell of a mess. Yes, but he gave his all with brushes and paint. Lived like a sinner, worked like a saint. That's Picasso, our Pablo Picasso. Sing the man's name again. Picasso, Picasso, he really could draw. Picasso, Picasso, wow, the world that he saw. I love it, painting people's eyes where the nose should be. That's Picasso. Picasso, his Guernica told Generalissimo Franco just where he could go. He lived to his 90s through good times and stress. In his love life, it was one hell of a mess. Yes, but he gave his all with brushes and paint. Lived like a sinner, worked like a saint. That's Picasso. Picasso. Picasso, our Pablo Picasso. Picasso. Love you, Pablo. I'm going to switch guitars now, and well, for a minute I'll do a song that I wrote just recently. I'll get my 12-string. There we are. After the tragic events of September 11th in 2001, I tried, as so many others did, to come up with a song to express how I felt at the time, but I didn't succeed until just around the time of September 11th of this year, 2002. I heard some reports on the radio of people that felt a little differently from most of what we were seeing and hearing in the media. I thought that deserved some recognition too, and that inspired me to write this song called 1 Year Later. Last September when the bombers struck, they killed my brother Jim. Every day since then I've known the hurt of living without him. Oh, I can't believe it's been a year. The people from the news keep on coming around and asking me to give them interviews. But I don't need to do my grieving on TV. I don't care to bare my soul on radio. I would rather spend the time with family and friends. So I say no thanks, I won't be on your show. Yes, I know it's quite the thing these days to make a big display and to show the world how much we love our dear old USA. I'm so thankful for the freedom that my country's given me, and I think that freedom still includes the right to privacy. I don't need to do my grieving on TV. I don't care to bare my soul on radio. I would rather spend the time with family and friends. So I say no thanks, I won't be on your show. When the towers fell, my rage burned like a blaze beyond control. Now I'm tired of that anger that's been eating up my soul. They've been killing us, we must kill them. Is that how things must go? People tell me it's the only way. I hope it isn't so. But I don't need to do my grieving on TV. I don't care to bare my soul on radio. I would rather spend the time with family and friends. So I say no thanks, I won't be on your show. Go attend the ceremonies, go salute the flags unfurled, go and sing God Bless America, I'll pray God save the world. If you need to feel a part of this, by all means go out there. Although I won't be among you, you must know that I still care. But I don't need to do my grieving on TV, and I don't care to bare my soul on radio. I would rather spend the time with family and friends. So I say no thanks, I won't be on your show. Well, now I'll get into the sense of the absurd that Joel and I both seem to share. I call this song a nostalgic song for something that I wish never happened in the first place, and now it's seeming like a nostalgic song for something that I hope will not happen again. I wrote this in 1991 while the Gulf War was going on, just seeing how crazy things were, and you know, I used to have a long story that I would tell about this, but this is the unvarnished truth I'm going to tell you now. I'm walking down Broadway just as Desert Storm is raging in the Persian Gulf, and it's just crazy. And I guess I was under a heavy dose of combination of Tom Lehrer and the Marx Brothers when I pictured this scenario and wrote this song. Well, I have to refer to him as President Bush the First now, don't I? He's just addressed the nation via radio and television. Desert Shield is about to flip over into Desert Storm, and he is saying to the American people, we regret this decision, but we must save poor Kuwait. There's an oxymoron for you, poor Kuwait, from the clutches of the evil Saddam. So, having described his move, he then retires into the conference room with Secretary of State Baker, Secretary of Defense Cheney. Is this starting to sound familiar, these names? Yeah, spooky, huh? Powell is one of the Joint Chiefs of Staff back then. Sort of playing musical jobs, aren't they? They're just switching around. They all retire into the conference room, whereupon each one reaches under the conference table and grabs his designated hat and cane, and they start to sing and dance to this song. But the president keeps throwing the scam off, because the scam is a good one, but Freudian slip. Throwing the scan of the song off because he's saying Saddam when they're singing Saddam. So they try and do a Professor Higgins type of thing with him and try and get him to say, our bombs will rain down on Saddam Hussein. But George can't quite get the beat. So they tell him, that's all right, Mr. President, just move your lips, we'll read them. So looking to the east, they start to dance and sing this song. Thank you, Saddam Hussein. You made us proud to be Americans once more. With your invasion of Kuwait, you saved us from a peaceful fate. You blessed us with a chance to go to war. Thanks to you, we're in a fight we truly want to win. It's so much simpler hating you than Uncle Ho Chi Minh, cause you made your cruelty so plain. So fly that jet and launch that rocket. It's Iraq to whom we sock it. Thank you so much, Saddam Hussein. The evil empire was packing up its iron curtain. We'd whoop the commies, but what was next? We weren't certain. The tension in the world had settled to a lull. Life was looking blissful and tranquil and dull. Then you got busy, and all that peaceful thinking ceased. We saw our duty and headed for the Middle East, though Russia's acting like our friend. We've still got countries to defend, so kiss that big peace dividend. Goodbye for now, and thank you, Saddam Hussein. You made us proud to be Americans once more. With your invasion of Kuwait, you proved you're worthy of our hate. We've got a brand new Hitler metaphor. Our city's needs are boring, the environment's a drag. We'd rather be out kicking butt and rallying round the flag. So remember Pearl Harbor and the Maine, yes sir. Kuwaiti freedom is our goal. Iraqi heads are gonna roll. Thank you so much, Saddam Hussein. Ready to kick rockets. No time to combat global warming. We're too busy desert storming. Thank you so much. You put us back in touch. Thank you so much, Saddam Hussein. Thank you. Well, a little touch of the absurd to make things bearable. I'd like to bring my wife, Jane Babits, up here to sing a song with me that kind of sums up what we're trying to do here. So I wanted to talk about that candlelight vigil after September 11th last year. Remember that?
Yes, it was on the Friday after 9/11, and a group of people from our building met in the lobby, and we were thinking, what could we contribute to this group with our candles? We were all...
People were saying things, and they were having wishes for the country and you know, the recovery of New York, and
Right.
we started to sing God Bless America, which, you know, could see what they felt about that. But we were thinking, right, that maybe we want to do something that included the whole world more, you know, because that really was sort of what we wanted to go to.
And maybe some direction, a little bit different than what we had experienced that day on 9/11.
Yeah, and we sang this song by the late Ed McCurdy that seemed to fit perfectly. Last night I had the strangest dream I never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room. It was filled with women and men, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the paper was all signed and 1,000,000 copies made. They all joined hands and bowed their heads, and grateful prayers were prayed. And the people in the streets below were dancing round and round, while swords and guns and uniforms were scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war.
You're watching Songs of Freedom. My name's Joel Landy, and I'm here with Toby Fagenson and Jane has taken a walk, but we're still here. What I'd like to talk to you about is, tell me about Pinewoods. What would you have our viewers know about the Pinewoods Folk Society and how they can enjoy themselves as we do?
I cannot go on without saying that Jane and I first met at a New York Pinewoods Folk Music Club weekend, which at the time was up in Saugerties, New York. We're going to try our winter weekend for the first time at a place in Warwick, or if you're in England, Warwick, New York, and look forward to that. But that's always fun. That weekend is different from the one that you were just on, in that there's no professional staff there. There aren't any guest performers or anything. It's just everybody hanging around and
okay, so there's a fall
music.
And a spring weekend where people
they
go to
hire
workshops.
Professionals. We've had people over the years, Gene
and
Ritchie.
the food was good.
This time, well, you came at a good time.
Yeah,
they've taken a few years, but it's good. But it's a wonderful experience. And I've met so many wonderful people, both to make music with and to be friends with. It really is the largest part of my social circle. It got started in the 1960s. It took its name from Pinewoods Camp in Massachusetts, in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which was run by the weeks were run by the Country Dance and Song Society of America, which goes back to the English era of Cecil Sharp and Maud Carpley's. This was an American version of that, and they were collecting all kinds of indigenous music everywhere, north, south. And people from New York who went there in the 1960s took the idea home with them and decided to keep that music going year-round and formed a club, a local club, which they named for the camp, the New York Pinewoods Folk Music Club. And we can't make an acronym out of it because he couldn't pronounce it, NIFUMP, or something like that.
But if you look at the screen, you were watching, and then there was the information. There was a phone number and a website.
Yes, the folk phone, right. Yes. Oh, that's so comprehensive. And the newsletter, which I see Joel is holding in his hand, which that's one of the excellent
actually has the song circles that week. The Sunnyside Song Circle is listed
right,
here.
Joel,
Every 6
Steve
weeks
Suffolk,
ago.
the
We
whole
have
crew from Queens. They're doing
Yeah. If you want to know more, contact this show, and you can come over to my apartment or Steve Suffolk's apartment, and we make music and eat and drink all afternoon on a Sunday. Happens a few times a year. So that's
Great.
Pinewoods related.
Yeah, well, we run all sorts of things. I mean, there are concert series that we run both in Manhattan and Brooklyn.
How can people contact you if they want to know more about Toby Fagenson music? Well, that 911 song was so right on.
Well, thank you, Joel. I mean, I'm so fortunate. I did it for the first time at People's Voice Cafe recently, and when Jane and I did an evening there, and we really wanted to thank them for that. They did a great job. And well, my email will appear at the end. Well, not. Is there anything else we need to know?
Seriously.
Yes,
all
just by wizardry.
Such a modest man.
I know. Well,
I also want to thank the people who make the show possible.
Here.
It's going to be a short list tonight. Gloria is in the booth, and you might not have seen me, but while Toby and Jane were singing, I was running around to all three
Joel's
cameras.
a man of many hats
I know,
tonight,
many
yes.
talents. I'm wearing sneakers, so we can do a lot of things. Anyway, so let's...
Great club, and great place to make music. And
yeah. So definitely, folks, if you want to have fun, get involved, and maybe learn how to play one of these.
I haven't got to that yet. I mouth instruments other than kazoo.
I'm going to call Alan Hopkins and just play something on his phone and hang up.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You can identify yourself?
What the hell was he doing?
You can identify yourself? Oh, okay,
No.
just the mysterious harp man.
Anyway, so let's take people out this evening by doing a song.
Okay.
And let's make it a parody so people remember us for who we really are.
Yeah, people who steal. Steal from the best. That's what Woody Guthrie said, right?
It's called modeling.
Never mind this petty theft. We go for the best, right? Like Zimmerman here.
This is for anybody who ever diapered a kid.
I think you'll recognize the tune.
Listen, new parents, as you lie in your bed and you pull on the covers up over your head. You know in a minute where you'll be instead. She is loud, but she ain't misbehaving. Drag yourself to her room, though you're feeling half dead. Her diapers need changing. Now listen here, mothers. Although you try to forget, a full night of sleep, it ain't happened yet. Has a dry baby now, will later be wet. In her crib or her playpen caging. You knew this would happen, don't get so upset when her diapers need changing. Now listen here, fathers, it's your business too. Right, pretend that you're sleeping like you like to do. If you think your wife buys it, I've got news for you. It's your turn for the wiping and waiting. And the sooner you leave, it's the sooner you'll snooze when her diapers need changing. Was I ever like this? You must think as you go. Did I cry half the night many ages ago with the moon in my eyes and a river below? Nature calls and now you are here slaving. You'll be back in an hour, that's all that you know. When her diapers need changing. Well, mothers and fathers throughout the land, now don't go criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters, they're beyond your command. And you know how their story ends, with your kids fully grown and you wearing Depends. Whose diapers need changing? Whose diapers need changing. Her diapers need changing. Yeah. Oh, that was
Thanks,
fun,
Joe.
Toby. Toby, why don't you
Thanks a
take
lot.
us out?
Okay, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the awesome Toby Fagenson. Good night, folks.
Better finishing song. This land is your land. This land is my land. I know you couldn't keep you
From
in California
to the New York Island.
Come on up here, Janie, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Hey, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Come on in. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.